Hi guys, I'm teaching you a couple of hula hoop tricks. So I think the best one to learn first is called isolation. So you want to get your hoop or any spherical object. You could use big hula hoops or mini hoops. They work really well. Make sure you want to be able to, it doesn't want to be too heavy that it's bringing your arm down. You want to have your arm up. So I'm going to teach you this one. So this is in isolation. As you can see, it's about keeping the hoop in the same space while it's moving. Okay? So how we do that is, first of all, I just want you take your hand, palm up, and you grab the hoop like this. Now what you want to do is you want to keep this circle here, okay? So you don't want to be moving the hoop outside of the circle. This is not how it works. How we make the circle is we keep the hoop as a fixed point. And what I'm doing is I'm drawing around the hoop like this, keeping the shape all the time. So you can even start like that. You can get your finger or your palm and trace around the hoop here. So what's really the tricky part is when you have your palm up and you're tracing the hoop around here, there's a moment where your arm gets stuck like this. Now this is the trick to the isolation. What you want to do is you want to quickly move your hand around again so it's palm up. So it looks like this. So I'm going around the circle like this. I get to this point here and then I flip around and I'm back, okay? Let's just see that in action. So I'm keeping my arm nice and straight, so when I'm performing the trick, the hoop isn't moving, okay? So I'm going around, I'm going around, I'm going around. Here, the tricky part, I'm swapping as quickly as I can. Now, when that gets nice and smooth, or when you even start to get a bit of speed, you don't need to worry about that being clunky. Because when you introduce a speed, it's almost like it rocks away around the hand, okay? So that's your first trick, isolation. Remember, if you need help, you can get a partner to hold the hoop really lightly, like this, so it can still pass through, and just to keep that circle steady while you're doing your trick, okay? First one. Second trick is introducing, what should it be? Okay, we'll go from neck into armpits. So if you can't do this already, I'm going to teach you from neck to armpit, like this. If you can do that, what I want you to do is to practice going up into the armpits, getting 1, back in, 2, okay, back in. Okay, so you just run your up and down. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to teach you now. So what? Take my hoodie off. Okay. So what we want to do, starting on the neck, and I'm keeping my body nice and straight. I'm not dipping my head up or arching back, and I'm just gonna. It's really weird talking and doing it at the same time. Again, I'm kind of like I would hula hoop on my waist. It's kind of that's what's happening on my neck. So I'm not just staying still, otherwise it won't go. And I'm not kind of doing this backwards and forwards thing. I'm just circling my head. You know, like I'm a bit dizzy. I'm circling my head, and then the hoop will spin nicely. Now what I'm looking for when I bring my arm in is the biggest point in the hoop where the gap is the biggest. So at the moment it's here where the gap in the hoop is the biggest, so that is a perfect time for me to lift my arm, okay? So I don't want to be lifting my arm when the hoop's here because I'm going to trap it, okay? So let's just do that in slow motion. Here, 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 yeah? In this gap here. And the slower it is, the easier it is to start with because you can get your arm in. But once you start and pick up the speed, you know, it's a quicker action, yeah? So you air punch. So you're doing that the same side, both sides. So you're going air punch, air punch, air punch. And now I'm looking for the gap here. Okay, so on the other side, so I can say it out loud. Here, 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 here. Just to get that tempo. And then once I find the gap, I can bring my arms in. Okay? When you're hula hooping on your armpits, it's actually no longer in the waist. So if I introduce the waist, the hoop's going to drop to where I'm putting that energy. So the energy's staying up in the armpits. Imagine you've got eyes and you want to be able to see in your armpits. You want the hoop to touch your armpits. Okay? So when you're doing that. So you can try again. So neck, 1. Ooh. Neck, armpit. Oh, armpit. If it does drop down, try and get it up to your armpits again. This is really important to keep trying to get the hoop to come up and down. Okay? Let me know how it goes. Send me video responses or whatever you're doing. I hope this camera's been in focus. We'll see. Bye!